Hello, my friends. Now, today is the beginning of a three-part video of Combat Siege. I have collected a certain amount of footage with the gameplay as I've been going through my recent absence on the YouTube. And as you know, I've been playing a little bit of that and a little bit of other games as well. So, but anyway, this is the first part, and there will be another two also. And I will be talking basically about the way I've been playing this game and what I think it works the best. Now, you have to remember that I wasn't really playing with the other guys as much. And as you know, with whether it's this game or whether it's a Panzer Rush or any other of this nature, the more guys you are working with, the easier it will get. So the way I've been doing this, it costed me a lot of gold, especially for the fact that when you're taking the base and you want to do the upgrades, it just takes a lot of gold. Well, that's the way it is. I don't have much time on my hand to play the game, hence I don't really have much time to wait for certain things to be made, hence I need to use the fast production. Now, the problem with that game, although the Combat Siege is probably, I would say, number 2, just after Panzer Rush in terms of gold, and what I like is that they've got a newer type of units. The Panzer Rush is more of a World War II troops. This one is relatively newer, and that's what I like a little bit more. However, when you look at the amount of upgrades you've got in here, it's just absolutely extreme. I mean, you've got flags which can go up to like I think it's a 10 or 11th level, and if you want to upgrade your flags to the full, you're gonna have to spend like probably close to 10,000 gold, which is obviously absolutely crazy. But in some cases, I guess it's good to have it. Obviously, this game also have the flags, which Panzer Rush doesn't have. It's quite good, although even if you have 3 rows of flags in the base, if you don't have flags, they can go relatively quickly. So in a way, what I've noticed, the flags, you really have to have them, unless you are in a map where your alliance owns it, so you don't need to really worry about someone else coming over. But still, all the outside bases you should really have equipped with the full 3 rows of flags, and you know, maybe not necessary flags to be put them, but if you don't upgrade the flags up to a 6th or 7th level, certainly you would need to have flags there, because to take that base down is going to take very quickly. So what we've got in here, well, to be honest, it's been a while since I've been playing this game, and I've been changing alliances and so on, and this is not in particular order, so it's a sort of random battles, hence you might find that, you know, in one footage I will be with this alliance, in the other footage I will be in the other alliance. So, but the whole purpose of these 3 videos I've got for you at the moment is to basically show you the gameplay, and that's all it is. Now, as you can see, to attack the the bases. When I relate that to a Panzer Rush, in Panzer Rush obviously we use bombers, and the equivalent to that in this game is the pumas, which are the helicopters designed for bases. So it's almost exactly like a bomber in Panzer Rush. They are absolutely useless against other troops, but they're perfect for the bases. So the problem is to produce them. If you don't fast forward them or fast produce them, just they're gonna take ages. Also, they are being picked by the bases as well, so you need to make sure that you position them in a right place. What is annoying in this game, what I've noticed, and I had to learn this hard way, is that you can bring your helicopter to a certain point and the flags will not be shooting at you. But the moment the attack starts, then the flags will pick your helicopters if they're too close. So we don't have that in Panzer Rush, and that's what we have to be careful. When I played in I think it was a no combat, strategy combat, I think there was a similar things. You think you're safe because the flags are not attacking you, but the moment everything starts shooting, then they will pick you up. So you need to make sure the moment the flags start shooting, you are in a safe distance. Now the pumas have quite a long range when the base is shooting, so you should be able to stay well away from the base to actually get them to shoot at the base. My recommendation is also to have some anti-air helicopters, or the helicopters which can fight other troops, to have like a 2 or 3 in case you will be attacked by other troops. So it is always good to have a few of them. What I also like about the combat siege is the 2 types of APCs. You've got one which is the very, well, it's a cheap one, but it's very slow, like in Panzer Rush. But you also got this upgraded one, which costs much more, but is very, very fast. And not only fast, but is actually stronger as well. So this is quite good if you want your entire mission to be done very quickly before the enemy comes and, well, try to take it over. So as you can see in this video, I'm using a bunch of pumas with, you know, some other helicopters for sort of extra protection, and that's it. And now the bases I'm taking in here, there were weak bases, and there was quite a lots of weak bases on that map. That's what I remember. And what I'm creating in here actually is that those 4 bases are very close to each other. So right in the middle of those 4 bases, that is my let's call it parking for all my troops. In the video later on you will see that those 4 bases are equipped with the maximum protection in terms of flags. So if anyone wants to destroy all my pumas, they're gonna have to go through all of those flags first. But again, that's because of not playing that game that often, and I just want to make sure that they are relatively safe. So what else I can say in here? Now the video I'm showing at the moment, it shows mostly pumas attacking bases, but there is also a tank which is Leo. Extremely strong tanks, comes in groups of 7, I believe. And these tanks, so the typical setup in this game, in my opinion, is you having those tanks and you have your pumas. Now, in major attacks where you've got a much stronger basis with the flags and you want to take them down, you need to use other troops. You need to use the rocket launchers, and there is many other vehicles which you have to use at the same time to actually take down better upgraded bases. And for that you would need much more people involved, because otherwise you won't be able, you wouldn't have enough groups to do that. As I mentioned, the Puma is equivalent to bomber, and as a bomber it's gonna take one group, so you got one bomber for one group. The same with the helicopters. So you always be limited to that. As you can see in here, we are destroying that base, and I'm actually using 2 Leos to attract the flags. What we got in here, we've got, yes, that was just purely taking the bases. And you see, at the beginning of the game, as in every game, depends on what sort of enemy you're gonna come up to, you may find that this is actually a loads of non-gold players, which they simply cannot afford to have a proper protections, and therefore if you find someone like me who don't mind to spend a little bit of gold, then obviously you're gonna take a loads of bases. Now you will get to the point that you're gonna be restricted on resources, and that you can't really buy if you can't transport that from any other maps, and this is the case with me. I only had my first map, which I've been playing. This is the second map, so I can only transport the resources from that map, and that's it. Now in Panzer Rush, as you know, even if you reset all your resources for any other maps you used to be, you still have that, so you can still transport that resources to your current map. And that's why in Panzer Rush I am at the stage where I'm absolutely not worried about running out of resources. There is obviously there is a point where the transport becomes so expensive that it's just not worth it, of course. But when you're doing a certain amount of attack, where you just ran out of steel of aluminium, then there is no problem. You can still do, like, I don't know, 10 or 20 transports, and that won't cost you as much. So yeah, so I think we are coming up to end of part 1. And yeah, and I will be talking further about this game in part 2. So hopefully that was interesting enough, and I will see you in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe. There's only 25, I think it's 25 people left to reach 1,000, which is great. Looking forward to it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.